everyone. Welcome back to Real American Cougar. It's my pleasure to sit here and talk to you for a little while tonight. And tonight, this episode is dedicated to the quitters. I've thought about all the times that I keep telling you, push forward, create your life, keep going, keep motivated. And that's all good too. But you know what? I was thinking there actually are times when it's okay to quit and it's okay to walk away. And we're going to talk about that tonight. Before we get into that, I want to say that I am totally thrilled that we now have 241 subscribers. Just a week ago, I was talking to Derek. We had like 103 subscribers, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. We now have 241. You guys are killing it. Somebody's been smashing the subscribe and hitting the like button. Thank you very much. If you like what you hear, please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe and be able to look at all the videos. This is episode number 23. I'm really proud of what I've been doing this year, and I've got a lot of messages that are very appreciative, and some ask a lot of questions, and some new topics I've discussed that we're going to be bringing out on later shows. So I'm really hyped about it. I'm really psyched about it. I really like the response that I've been getting. Thank you so much. 241 subscribers. You're killing it. Now we better talk about when it's okay to quit here. I talked about when I was growing up, and I moved from place to place quite a bit. I went to about 12 different schools throughout my elementary, high school years. I didn't go to those different schools each grade. We moved quite a bit. And from that point of view, from growing up that way, I learned that one of the easiest ways, my easy out, was to just go. When something was going wrong, or there was something I couldn't tolerate any longer, or sometimes there were reasons I couldn't tolerate things any longer, it was just easy just to back off and walk off and go. Leave everything. I didn't care. Leave everything. I could start over. It was more important to me to keep my self-integrity and my self-esteem and myself intact. And there are times when you have to do that, and there are times when it's okay to just walk away and quit. So I'm going to talk about some situations where it is okay to quit. And the first situation is, if you have changed so much to please everybody around you that you've lost yourself, or you have changed so much in order just to keep someone else happy at your expense, or you're no longer reacting to your own life, you're just kind of like on autopilot. You're just kind of going through the motions, and you become an autopilot, and this is a situation, and I'm not really happy here, but you don't have to be on autopilot. If everything is one-sided and you're the only one who changes, and it all boils down to, is this worth your happiness? Are all the changes you made worth your happiness? So you can take a look at that and think about that, especially if you are older and you don't have that much time to mess around and waste. You can think about that and decide if maybe it's time to quit or walk away. The second thing, and this is my thing a lot when it's okay to quit, is when you get that gut feeling, when you get that cramping feeling in your stomach, when you get that sinking feeling in your chest, when you have that little edge of anxiety that is saying something about this is just not right. Trust that when you hear that something tells you inside of you, when you feel those feelings, you feel those for a reason. Your nervous system and your brain and a lot of things happening in your body are using this, not just in your body, but your intuition is telling you this isn't right, and this is not good. And when you have that feeling, it's okay to walk away. It's perfectly okay to quit, especially if it involves another person. If you're getting into a relationship and you've maybe went out for maybe 1 date or 2 dates, and you get this gut feeling around someone, especially if you're a single person and you have to be aware of your surroundings and your safety. When you get this gut feeling that things just aren't right, leave. Just leave. Don't worry about it. If it's very early in a relationship with someone, then it's not going to matter anyway. Don't invest a lot of time and a lot of your energy into something that you feel is just not quite right, and then later on find out that it really wasn't right. So that's a good time to think about quitting. When you don't feel respected, and I don't mean just once. I mean, if you consistently do not feel respected in your job or around different people or sometimes around your own family, sometimes, nobody wants to hear your opinion. Everybody wants to tell you what to do. Even direct insults. If you're in a situation where you're exposed to direct insults, anytime you do not feel respected, if you feel taken advantage of, if you feel used, that is going to overflow into other areas of your life. Your self-esteem, your personality, your motivation, how you react to all kinds of situations when you do not feel respected. You can build up a lot of resentment. So anytime you do not feel respected on a consistent, persistent basis, it is okay to think about quitting, and it is okay to quit. As far as I'm concerned, don't go through situations where you do not feel respected. It is not good for you, and you lose your power that way. Other people have power over you. So when you don't feel respected, move on. The next one is, and this is the last one, and it's a very, very important one, guys. If you end up in an abusive or a toxic relationship with someone else, or any time you feel anyone else, if you have somebody that you're just friends around and they're mean to you and they laugh, they like to pick on you, you're the one they like to pick on, and they get a laugh out of it. Well, they're not really a good friend if that's leaving you feeling bad, and that's hurting your self-esteem, or that's hurting you in some way. If you're in a relationship, and of course if there's any kind of physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, do not put up with it. If you are in a relationship where there is physical abuse, end it as soon as it starts. Don't stick around. I was in that type of a relationship. I didn't realize for some time that there maybe had been some emotional abusive things going on. But when it got to the point where I was absolutely physically abused by another person, I can remember the last thing I ever said to that person. The person said, "Are we going to talk about this?" And I said, "No." And that was the last thing I ever said to that person. And that's all you need to do, because there's nothing to talk about. If you're in that kind of a situation, please look for help. Please notify any authorities or shelters or anybody you need to. Go to your family. Tell somebody. Don't stay in an abusive, toxic situation. Please. It will not do anything to help you create your life and be happy. Your relationship with yourself should be your number one priority, not a relationship with anyone else. Don't put up to get along. You don't have to. You have the right to have an opinion. You have the right to be satisfied. You have the right to be happy. But there's a lot of reasons why people will stay in these kind of situations, and they're very good reasons. Sometimes people have to be financially. They just can't leave a situation. They're stuck there financially. So that makes it hard for them. Sometimes people are afraid to be alone. They're maybe in a relationship, or they're with a group of people or a group somewhere, and that's all they've known, and that's what they know, and they're afraid to be alone. And that takes a lot of thinking. You've got to do what's best for you. You've got to do what's best for you. If quitting is best for you and walking away is best for you, then you've just got to do what's best for you. Some people have very high anxiety, and they're afraid of life changes. They'd rather be stuck in one spot than to go through the anxiety and the anguish of having to change. And I can understand that. It takes a lot of courage to say no. It takes a lot of courage to walk away. Some people have a lot of time invested, money invested, emotional energy invested. They feel that, oh, I've been with this person for 5 years, or I've been in this job for 10 years, or I have so much of my time invested, I have money invested. You got to kind of, as we do in the medical field, we compare the risk to the benefit. You've got to compare your risks. Okay, what is this going to happen on down the road? What's going to happen to me? What is going to, are the risks of me not being happy? And then you got to look at, well, what are the benefits for me of being in this situation or being around these people? I'm not alone. What else? What else? Do the benefits outweigh the risks or vice versa? You got to look at that. And that's a good thing to keep in mind when you're trying to decide if you should keep going in one direction or if you should quit. If the risks outweigh the benefits, then you're probably headed toward quitting. Some people just wait for things to get better. That was one of my coping mechanisms. I was waiting for things to get better. I was having faith. I was praying to God. I was doing everything I could to work things out. I didn't want to be a failure. I didn't want people to see me as a failure. I didn't want my children to see me as a failure. I didn't want my family to see me as a failure. I really didn't care what my friends thought so much. But, it's just hard when you're really hoping that things are going to change, and you're working and hoping and praying that things are going to change. Give it time. Yeah, give it time. But, if you go on 10, 15 years and things have not changed and you're still feeling the crappy way you felt 5 years ago, then maybe you should think of quitting. Then maybe it's okay to quit, But people will stay in relationships because of this feeling that they have. And those are all good things to think about. I mean, we all need to think about our own personal situation, and we all need to think about whether or not it's okay to continue. One thing I do want to bring up about quitting and about walking away is this is a very useful tool in conflict. Anymore, there's a lot of conflict in our world today. There's a lot of people arguing over all kinds of things. Everyone has different opinions. It's okay to have different opinions. They have different opinions about the healthcare situation. They have different opinions about where the money should go. They have different opinions about people that work, people that don't work. There's all kinds of things that we could get in a conflict over. But the hardest thing to do when you're in a conflict with people that you have to be around a lot of the time, if you have to work with a lot of people, you have to spend time with a lot of these same people, if you find that you're in conflict. Now, if you're in a job where you don't feel respected, you feel taken advantage of, you're just feeling used, you don't think you get paid enough for what you do, there's all kinds of reasons to quit to make yourself happier. You can look for another job, make yourself happier, find another job, maybe you'll be happier, So, some people are all the time saying, I'm quitting today, I'm never coming back. Well, hey, just do it. Just do it. We're tired of hearing that every day. Just do it. But when you get into conflict with other people, conflict at work, maybe there's one person that wants to get your goat every time you see them. Maybe there's one person that always wants to argue politics or whatever. These people, a lot of times, they are not doing that for your benefit. They're doing it for theirs. They like the attention. They want to get their reaction from you. They want to be able to push your buttons because that makes them feel that they have power over you. Whether it's at your work or wherever it is, the best thing that you can do with these people that try to manipulate you and try to get a reaction out of you and try to make themselves feel good by making you look bad is to not say anything and walk away. Just walk away. Leave them standing there with their mouth open, looking around like, well, because you save your own self-respect. You save yourself a lot of stress. You save yourself a lot of anxiety. You maintain your self-respect. You keep your integrity and intact. It bums the person out that's trying to mess with you. That's my favorite reason. It bums that person out. And it shows that you are fully aware of your worth. And when you're fully aware of your worth, you will know that there are some situations that you are not willing to tolerate, and that's just the way it is. So that's my little talk for tonight. It's okay to quit. This one is dedicated to the quitters. I have quit many times. I've run from one situation right from the next. It's the way I was brought up. And I'm getting a handle on life. I'm creating my life, but I still feel that once in a while it is okay to quit. and I want you guys to know that as well. Thank you very much for spending some time with me, for listening to this little talk. I hope it has helped you all in some way. Let me know what you think about it. Send me a message on the Real American Cougar Facebook page. I love the messages I've been getting. I love to talk back with people. I've gotten into some good conversations, which are going to bring up some new focus on new themes for further shows. Send me an email if you like at Real American Cougar Mature Culture at gmail.com, or leave a comment, subscribe, hit the like button. Let me know you like me, because I like you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Peace out.